Hello again, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of Fodder School 2's YouTube Hop. So I'm going to be showing you all of the things that I made, or at least most of the things that I made in the second half of Fodder School 2. We'll put a link down below to the prior part 1 so you can see mine and other people's work from part 1 in the first part of Fodder School, and there will also be a link to other people who are participating in this particular part 2 hop, and there'll be information about Fodder School and everything in the links below. So I'll go ahead and get started because I have a lot to show you. As usual, Fodder School 2 has continued to be a really great source of inspiration and beautiful projects. The first one that I have here for you is April's project. This is the final project for April. The professor. Maybe she likes to be called a professor. The instructor was Dory Patrick, and the end assignment was a colorful flower collage painting, and that's what this is. So this is on canvas. I just kind of followed along with how the instructor did it on canvas, but this could have been done on board or anything. I actually, if I had it to do over again, I probably would do it on a hard board just because that's my preference. But I was actually really surprised at how well the collage worked on this canvas, stretch canvas. So this was really fun. This was kind of out of my comfort zone because I'm not necessarily a still life painter, even in the abstract. But and when I first made it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this or not. But as I sat around my house and sat on the wall, I've grown to really love it, and this is really great. So anyway, so this is April's final project, and then I'm going to go on to May, which actually has a couple of components. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and have all this all in a pile next to me here. So this was Tiffany Sharp's month, and you know, Tiffany always has great lessons. The end product was these postcards, and I'm actually showing you this because this was a card that Tiffany Sharp sent me in an exchange. I won't show you the back because it has everyone's addresses, but really nice work, Tiffany. And then these are the ones that I made. So I exchanged with her one of the ones that I made. And I can show you the front and back of these because they are blank. So I had these really nice stamps. I believe they're Stampers Anonymous stamps with Tim Holtz. And they were just perfect for this project to make little postcards. And these were all just made with scraps. And I decided to do little sayings on each, but you know, that was just my deal. They could have been anything. And I'll show you the rest of these. And I have these other little scraps here because these were earlier in the class, the first half of the class. I think this is probably my favorite one. And always using those Liz Constable scraps. Still love her from the first half. Okay, so there we go. And these were really fun to make. And it's a great way to use scraps, which I used a ton of for that. And then the first part of the lesson, there were so many different parts of the first part of the lesson, and I only did some of them, but one of them was to make our own washi tape, and one of them was to make washi tape with packing tape that you wet the back. So these are some that I made for that. Just very simple, you know, some patterns here, but these were really fun too. And I just didn't have a lot of time at the time that the first part of the course came up, so I didn't make a whole lot of these, but it's definitely something I'll keep in my tool belt and use again. Okay, so that was May, and then I'm gonna go on to June. There's also a lot to show you for June, but it's all wrapped up in one little thing. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit because this is a little smaller. So this month was with Karen Elaine, and the end result was a Blizzard book, which is what you're seeing now. And the first part was making the cards that are in the Blizzard book. So I'm just going to take the little band off. Cute little band that holds it all together. And then I'll show you this. So sort of a magical little creaky because I haven't opened it in a while. Sort of a magical book that has all these little pockets in here. It's all based on folding paper. So this is the inside here, and then this is the cover, which was made separately. And I'll take these cards out here too in a minute, but I just wanted to kind of flip through and show you the structure there, and then I will take these out to show you. And we could have put, you know, as many or as few cards in here that we wanted, but I kind of packed it pretty full. So these are cards that I made in that class. And right now I'm just kind of, oh, I forgot that I have stuff on the back. Wow, it's been a while. Yeah, I put stuff on the back of all of them, and more of Liz Constable's paper dyeing. But these, right now I just have them in here, and this is sort of their display location. But, you know, you could use them for postcards or whatever. I really like having them this way because it's almost like a little book. Well, I mean, it is a book, but it's a little storybook sort of with all of these cards. And I can't believe I forgot I had things on the back. But this little book would be great for so many things. It's kind of amazing. I would have made more if I had more time, but you could make them in any size. I kind of followed the size that was that we went through in the course, but she also, Karen Elaine also provided different sizing to make different size books. It's just all based on folded paper, which, like I said, is kind of magic, where you can just fold paper and end up with a structure at the end of the day. All right. But yeah, this was also really good for making straps. For using up scraps. I actually deviated a little bit from the lessons. There was a lot more printing directly onto the cards, but I had so many beautiful scraps from the months before and just sort of sitting around that I really did want to use those in here. Okay, only a few pages left here. The wicked malice of men. Yes, so all of these little sayings that I have on here are all cut out from the book Watership Down. Watership Down is my all-time favorite book, and those of you that have watched prior videos on my channel know that I use it as inspiration for art all the time, and that's where all these little snippets came from. It's just full of beautiful poetry. I call it poetry. It's just so well written and beautifully written that I love to use text from the book in everything, and the fields that lay beyond. I mean, there's just such lovely little phrases all throughout, and it has all kinds of little nature themes, which I really love. But that was me incorporating that. That was not something that we did in the class, but nonetheless, I always try to put my own spin on everything. So, and I don't think I really organized these as a story in the book, but I wonder if I should actually go back and try that, because it does have such lovely little phrases that could be turned into a story. All right, so here we are at the back page, and they all have a similar theme. They're basically using very similar collage papers and then just going a different route on each individual one. And then here is the last card. There we go. So that is June with Karen Elaine and this beautiful Blizzard book. And put the little wrap back on, assuming I can. Okay, there we go. But yeah, it's a lovely little way to store it, and I have it in my basket of books, which this second half of Fodder School was very heavy in, because the next one for July was another book, and this is from Megan Quinlan, and this is sort of a well, so she called it a circle book, but not because it's made as a circle, but because it is full of circle imagery. We could have done any imagery, but I chose to go ahead with the circle because I do love circles. And then I'll just really quickly go through here. And I pretty much consider this book done now. I added all kinds of additional things in here after the class. And this, as you'll see, is actually part of a later class. So I went back and added some things there. But, and this was part of, I think it was a taster, or whatever they're calling it, for Fodder School 3 with one of the instructors for Fodder School 3. So I went back and incorporated all kinds of things in here. But we did make these little watercolor circles, which are so useful to me and everything, because I love putting little focal points like that on things. But this one in particular, I actually really liked this little thing. This was just a doodle of mine. And it's just, oh, and we did little watercolor papers with stencils to put in here. And then I also used some scrap papers that I had from before. All of these lessons, oh, and here's some of that packing tape, packing washi tape. All of these lessons are really great for using up prior lessons material, and yeah, I really like that with the rainbow in the middle. And for using material that you've made earlier in that same month. So it's all really fantastic, and it just keeps your creativity flowing all through the year. Okay, and this is the last little section here. But yeah, I learned how to make so many books, which is fantastic. And I'm kind of on a bookmaking kick now, where I'm just making book after book. And it's even encouraged me to take other classes outside of Fodder School to learn to make more book structures. And funny enough, the first lesson in Fodder School 3 involves making a book. So the journey continues with the books. All right, so there we go. Oh, and this was actually a throwback to Fodder School 1. This is one of the little assemblages that I made for that, and I just stuck it in here because I thought it would be cute in there. But there we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and tie up this book so it's in a nice little bound up thing, because for some reason I tend to make all of my books very chunky. And then we have, let me see, August. So August is also the end result with some books, but we also had a variety of lessons. There were some lessons making snippet rolls. This is actually some parts of a snippet roll that I have used almost all of. So these are just little cutout pieces, basically collaging onto a long strip of paper. I have these round with a, have these held together with a rubber band, which really helps. I made so many of these, and I've already completely used 2, but here's what I have left. And I also discovered that watercolor paper is probably not the greatest to roll up, but you know, it still works. And I love these numbers that ended up on here. And again, scraps. So the other thing, I'm going to open these up, because one of the other things we did at the beginning were clusters. And this here, from here to here, is one of the clusters that we made. And then at the end of the class, we made these little books with some master boards that we made. And I made 3 because, you know, why not? I'm not going to go through all of them because we have so much left to show you here. But, oh, and so you can hear, here is another one of the snippet roll pieces to make a little band to hold things. And yeah, again, one of the reasons why I love, and here's another one used as a little pocket. And this is a little heart that I made with when I was making the clusters. One of the great parts of making handmade books is you can use so many of your old papers, and that's exactly what I did here. So I did, this one's almost finished. I went back and put little collages on the pages, and this was another cluster. I kind of thought that was cute. This little sticker, I was like, when am I ever going to use that? And then it seemed perfect for for this particular cluster. yeah, so I was kind of trying to create a little storyline in here. But there we go. And then I'm going to show you just briefly these two. And these are bound with sari silk. This is just a tiny one. I haven't really done much to it. And then this one, probably shouldn't have spent so much time showing you all those cards because I have so much other. And this one's pretty much done. I put little collages on each of the pages. Oh, looks like some of these pages got stuck together, but I thought that that was fun. Yes, now obsolete, that dude is. All right, so I'm gonna put those aside and then we're gonna go on to the last month, which was September with Julie Hamilton. So if I didn't say, this was Ricky Midbrod's class, and she's fantastic. I think her handle is Ricky Tiki Tavi on Instagram and maybe other places, but she's got some really cute ideas. All right, so finally, last but not least, I'm gonna zoom back out a little bit and you'll see my snippet rolls over here. I'm not gonna move those. So here, oh no, you're gonna see my computer, my glue and everything. So I'm just gonna, so these frames, I got these frames at Amazon, but they don't really fit too well. So I need to put, I need to mount them somehow because they're just on these little boards. But I thought the frames themselves look so good with these, so I'm definitely gonna find a way to make it work. So this is one of, I did 2 larger ones and then I did 4 smaller ones. By larger, I mean 10 by 10. And we could have done these any size. So the first half of the month, as usual, was making all the collage material that we ended up using here. And I used strictly collage material from that month's lessons in these, and some vintage papers. But okay, this one you can see the whole thing. Oh, upside down. There we go. Did I show you no, the last one was not upside down. Okay. And I think, yeah, these all must be upside down. So let me turn those around. But these were really, really fun. And funny story, some of these I thought, well, are they really done? And then I put them in a frame, and I think that really does make all the difference because you can see how the composition is going to sit, kind of how it would on your wall. And this is the last one. So I have to say that this was a truly wonderful second half. I'm going to put those there. And I am signed up for Fodder School 3 because why not? I want to continue the adventure here. But, and clearly I'm not the only one that likes making books, since that's what our first month is already. My goodness, there's so many things I can't even stack them. Okay, and then last but not least, back at the beginning, this little collage with Dory Patrick. So we had Dory Patrick, Tiffany Sharp, Karen Elaine, Megan Quinlan, Ricky Midbrod, and Julie Hamilton, and all of them have had, you know, wonderful art nuggets to share, and each one is so different, but really, really fun and resulted in some really, I think, nice results. All right, well, that's all I had for you today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, follow everybody else's YouTube Hop videos and continue along to see all of the wonderful things that other people have produced. All right, thanks for joining me. Bye.